Covering South Bend, Elkhart, and all of Michiana. This is ABC 57 News at 6.
That was pretty nuts.
Right now, the driver of this car is recovering at Memorial Hospital after crashing into a semi. And new this morning, for the very first time, a 6-year-old trapped for hours underneath at least 11 feet of sand is set to meet those first responders responsible for saving his life. Plus, today marks the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. Good morning, Michiana. Welcome to ABC 57 News. I'm Emily Pritchard. We've been following new and developing stories overnight. But first, hope you like hot because the temps are staying high for the rest of this week. ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood meteorologist Tom Coombs joins us in the First Warning Neighborhood Weather Center. And Tom, what can we expect into the rest of our Wednesday?
Well, it's still going to be warm, just not as hot as yesterday. So there is some relief, but the morning, it's not feeling like it right now. It's the warmest start we've seen all week in quite a while, with temperatures in the upper 70s in the Elkhart area. As you look towards Granger and Edwardsburg, it's 73. Into the Niles area, it's 76 degrees. So very warm, very muggy this morning, but relief is not far away. We missed out on any rain. It stayed just towards our east and is now diving across portions of Ohio. So we need the rain. Does not look like we're going to see it through the end of the week. Temperatures a little milder, but we heat back up, and I'll talk about our next chance for showers or thunderstorms in your ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Forecast. Emily?
And breaking overnight, a car slams into a semi in Michigan City. This happened just after midnight on Franklin Street. You can see the damage there. This morning, the driver of that car is at Memorial Hospital recovering from injuries. And that's where we find ABC 57's Eric Stelzer with the details this morning. Good morning, Eric.
Emily, good morning. Well, the driver of that car taken here to Memorial Hospital in very serious condition. He was flown here actually by a med flight helicopter all the way from Michigan City to here in South Bend. Now, it's all from this crash we're going to show you over here. That car all smashed up, banged right into the back of a semi over in that Michigan City area. That's going to be right near the Walmart and Denny's out there. Now, that driver, like I said, very serious condition, but the truck driver, he's going to be fine this morning. Officers tell me that he only had a few bumps and bruises, actually refused medical treatment completely. I talked to some witnesses out there, so they heard a large thud before calling 911.
We heard a loud bang and a pop, and we saw the car go flying, like did a couple of spins and landed on the side of the road.
And officers have not ruled out alcohol as a factor yet this morning. Also, if you are heading out that way today, that road has since reopened to traffic, so you should be good to go if you're in that Michigan City area where that crash happened. Reporting live at Memorial Hospital, Eric Stelzer, ABC 57 News.
Well, it's hard to forget those images. 50 years ago today, tens of thousands marched to the Lincoln Memorial in our nation's capital demanding racial equality. Today, many will revisit that site to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington and, of course, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. Now, we had a chance to talk to a group of people in Michiana who went to Washington, D.C. all to celebrate the 50th anniversary last weekend. They tell us it's because of Dr. Martin Luther King that they can live out their dreams today.
The people that went through so much for other people to be able to get where they need to be today. To know that I'm able to go to college to pursue my dreams and help out other people is a good feeling.
Now, this weekend, thousands came from all over the country to remember that March on Washington. And President Barack Obama is scheduled to speak at the celebration today. He, along with former Presidents Bill Clinton and Jimmy Carter, will be a part of a special ceremony set for this afternoon. Now, the president's speech is expected to start just after 3 o'clock, right after an appearance from members of the King family. And you can watch all of that live for yourself right here on ABC 57. And Google is also also getting into the spirit of celebration today. They have a special Google Doodle in honor of the 50th anniversary of the landmark I Have a Dream speech. Now, the Google logo shows Dr. King from behind addressing a crowd. And as you can see right there on your screen, there are also several lines of text from the speech in the background. And the IUSB Civil Rights Heritage Center will remember the 50th anniversary of the Birmingham church bombing that left 4 schoolgirls dead in 1964. Now, the center will host Diane Braddock, a sister of one of the girls killed in that bombing. And please stick with ABC 57 as we continue to bring you special coverage of this big day at our nation's capital. Throughout the morning, we'll bring you live pictures and reports of the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington. And this afternoon, ABC News will provide the up-to-the-minute anniversary coverage. And new this morning, a 6-year-old trapped for hours underneath at least 11 feet of sand is set to meet those first responders responsible for saving his life for the very first time. There are 2 events planned, and they're both in Michigan City. Indiana Governor Mike Pence plans to be there, as well as for some of little Nathan Weisner's doctors. Meanwhile, the search for holes continues on Mount Baldy. Now, we talked with a National Parks spokesperson. He tells us the EPA just started this week more basic testing so they can cover the entire dune there. And if they find something out of the ordinary, they'll bring out that radar equipment again. And right now, officials know of 2 holes on the Indiana Dunes National Lakeshore. That includes the one that 6-year-old Nathan Weisner fell into last month. Well, Elkhart County residents who are concerned about a possible new bridge over US 6 can attend a public meeting tonight. Put it in your calendar. INDOT's hosting the hearing this evening at 6. It will be held at the Wawasee High School Auditorium, and the proposed bridge would carry County Road 29 over US 6 in the hopes of reducing accidents at that intersection. And developing this morning, we now know more about a grill explosion in Indianapolis. A church member of Grace Community Church was killed when a grill exploded at a barbecue event, and now the Noblesville pastor is speaking out.
We're still looking into reasons as to why. Probably not going to have answers today, tomorrow, or maybe even the weeks to come.
The man killed in that blast has been identified as 52-year-old Doug Grip. Well, the US 31 bypass is back open after a tanker leaking liquid nitrogen forced emergency crews to shut it down yesterday. It happened Tuesday near Berrien Springs, and officers say the driver pulled over and called 911 when he saw gas billowing out of that tank. Now, police tell us a faulty pressure relief valve caused that leak, and officers escorted the truck back to New Carlisle so the valve could be repaired. Well, it's official. The EPA says LaSalle Park is safe. They've done extensive testing on the land there, which used to be an old industrial waste dump. And ABC 57's Jason Aubrey joins us with the details this morning.
Basically, the EPA found with all of their ground testing of the surface soil here at the park that all of the arsenic levels here at this location are within acceptable levels. Dozens of families are having a ball enjoying LaSalle Park, oblivious to the fact that just a few hundred yards away, the EPA was revealing the results of surface soil tests. According to Keith Fazinski, a toxicologist with the EPA, they found acceptable levels of arsenic. Fazinski says if 10,000 people lived in this patch of exposed dirt 24 hours a day for 30 years and never left, one of them might get cancer from the arsenic. Maybe.
The park is completely safe for kids to come and play on. We did a lot of testing around the play areas, and we found nothing out of the ordinary the kids can come and play on.
The EPA hopes to have approval to add this site to the Superfund list by the end of the year. That would allow them to do more in-depth study about what lies beneath this park. Reporting from LaSalle Park, Jason Aubrey, ABC 57 News.
Medicaid is one step closer to covering more people living in Michigan. The state Senate just passed a plan to cover 500,000 low-income residents. Now, the plan actually passed by a narrow 20-18 vote in the Republican-led chamber. Well, the New York Times experiences widespread website outages, and officials believe it may have been the work of hackers. According to a statement from the Times, the paper's chief information officer sent an update to employees telling them not to send out sensitive emails while the issue was worked on. Now, he said a Syrian hacker group or someone trying to be that group is to blame. The Syrian Electronic Army has frequently targeted the U.S. news media, and this was the Times' second sustained website outage this month. And in other news, Harvest Buchanan is set for this weekend. Wake up Saturday morning for pancakes with the fire department. Who wouldn't want to do that? Followed by a 5K race and a 2-mile fun run for families. It all takes place on the brand new McCoy Creek Trail. And the fun will continue all week long. Meanwhile, we need to tell you about a few changes in place for this year's annual Mackinac Bridge Walk. New this year, all bags, purses, and backpacks will be checked before walkers can go across the bridge. Now, more than 40,000 people are expected to walk the 5 miles across, including Michigan's governor. And the bridge actually links the state's upper and lower peninsulas. And here is a live look out of Washington, D.C. this morning, where several thousands are expected to pack our nation's capital in commemoration of the 50th anniversary of Martin Luther King's landmark I Have a Dream speech.
A historic march on Washington 50 years later. I'm Devin Dwyer. 3 American presidents and a tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King. The details coming up.
Another muggy start this morning. We're still in the mid-70s in Plymouth right now. I'll track any relief in your ABC 57 First Warning neighborhood weather forecast.